Avdeeva here. Welcome to the 12th episode of Avdeeva Shostakovich project. And today we are approaching the middle of the entire cycle. We are talking about the G sharp minor Prelude and Fugue from 24 Preludes and Fugues, opus 87 by Dmitri Shostakovich. So as you can already feel, there is a special meaning in this pair. I think that Shostakovich composed it on purpose, in a special character, in a unique also size. And it's interesting that this particular prelude will again bring us back to the Baroque forms. So this is a passacaglia or chaconne. We have this basso ostinato line. Sequence which will be repeated throughout the prelude without any changes, absolutely no mercy sequence, and it's built in, look, 3 bars. It's a little bit controversial, I think, because this is, on one hand it has this motion forwards, and then we have this stop, half pause, again, and now we have 6 bars in one line. For me, it's a very heavy path which the protagonist is walking here. Very heavy weight which he has on his shoulders. So it's very severe character here, very, also dark and hopeless in a way, but still also with this dignified feeling. Then we have the first voice entering after the first sequence appears. Again, we recognize here this moment of a procession or something coming from far, coming close and taking us with it, with this wave. It is very special in this prelude that there are again no chromatic notes here. So maybe that's why I call it that it sounds archaic, because we have a natural minor with only one exception in the very end. But besides that, we have a natural G sharp minor. Maybe this also somehow exaggerates this very heavy mood of this piece. And now finally we have the climax here, but it goes away very quick, and then we have an absolutely new material. Look. Just 1-2 bars for diminuendo, and then. So we have still this same sequence, but here suddenly maybe a little bit kind of human voice, some empathy to the fate of this other protagonist with this, which is walking this very, very heavy path. But this is just two lines here with this upper voice melody, somehow melody from another world. Then we will have one time where the sequence will appear in the upper voice, So let's have a look how it sounds then. And again it's back. It's back in the bass. We will not move anymore above the mezzo forte dynamic, so we only have this one very strong outbreak, and then this procession is moving away. We are going lower and lower in the register and talking about this one special moment with a chromatic note. It's also preparing, I think, in my personal feeling, it's already preparing the fugue, because, well, I will not talk, I will play. Look. This is the only not natural G minor tone here, and then this is the last time where the sequence is only in one, not in one note, not in an octave anymore. And please think about these intervals here. Recognize why I was asking you to take care in your ears about the these intervals, because we have and the subject is again these different intervals which he uses then finally in the subject. So the fugue is absolutely extraordinary. This is one of the most furious pieces of music I know. So it's for me pure anger in a very special way. It says forte marcatissimo from the very beginning. And we have 5/4 bar, which gives us also this feeling of extreme syncopations. Then we have many accents, so it's edgy, but at the same time it's not stable. For me personally, this is one of the hardest fugues in the entire cycle, because it is emotionally very involving, and physically it requires a very good physical condition, because we have this marcatissimo. We have 4 parts, so we will have lots of texture here, and we have 4 pages of real pure in a way violence, emotion in emotion, because it's such a storm of feeling which Shostakovich, for me personally, expresses here. The fugue is also unique because you will see that later on this transformation from this mood to a completely other mood, still having the same material. So yeah, we have this amazing subject already, which also consists of 2 different scales. So here again we have the natural scale, and then within this G sharp minor, very extraordinary chromatic, coming back to the natural. Now we have all non-legato here, all marcatissimo. The only legato episodes are these transition moments. This is probably the fugue which I had to practice most. Well, I was very happy that I started. It was one of the first fugues I have started work on, and I think it's absolutely necessary because it's so quick. We have this extreme speed here, so many jumps, so many absolutely yeah, sometimes not really predictable moves also in the hands. But it's an amazing piece. So that's why I'm saying that it's something when you are absolutely in rush, you are out of yourself, and this feeling to achieve, you know, to have this kind of limitless kind of losing control, but at the same time it's a fugue, so it feels that it needs some control still. I think this is a very, let's say, challenging combination. So here we're remaining only in forte dynamics the whole time, and this is another very important, crucial point to find. Of course, with the fugue itself, it's a little bit easier because you have to keep the subject still over all our other voices to avoid this, you know, mess of the sound, so it remains really transparent. But at the same time, especially with these jumps, it's very challenging here, because sometimes you have a, for instance, when you have the subject like here, in the very middle, this is really challenging. Look, we have a, because the other voices actually are covering it, so it's a long process that the hands are really getting used to it. So, but finally we come to the amazing explosion here, to the climax. Let's see how Shostakovich brings us there and what happens then. Dominant note, and what happens then? You know, like an, I don't know, some angry, very bad ghost is going to the hell. But what remains then? First, this is what I'm talking about, this where I was talking about this transformation, because suddenly we have the same subject on this organ note in legato. It says still says forte, still has the accents, mezzo forte diminuendo. And this is the same subject which we had through the entire fugue, but it's in a completely new texture, it's a new context, because we have legato, it sounds a little bit homeless. It's for me it's a little bit like a ghost. There is no body anymore. There is it's like, yeah, it's something it's wandering around without finding any peace or exit out of this state of soul and mind. It's something lost. It's indeed like a shadow of oneself. And still, of course, Shostakovich writes some stretto, but we will not leave the dynamics of piano. There is just one little crescendo to the mezzo forte, but it still remains this. It doesn't. Yeah, it's somehow the life. It's gone. But let's see this. I think it's, for me, absolutely amazing that the same material depending on the context, can sound so different. And this is an amazing example of literally bringing the subject from one side of character to a completely other dimension of the mood and feeling. The end of the fugue is also, it's still, there is no escape. Maybe also a little bit in Bach manner with the major chord in the end, and we have triple piano here, a little breath before the last chord, indeed somehow indicating this is the, let's say, the first part of the cycle is finished. And I'm absolutely excited that tomorrow is the digital release day of my recording of 24 Preludes and Fugues, Opus 87 by Dmitri Shostakovich, and the C-sharp minor Prelude and Fugue by Krzysztof Meyer. So please tune in. Let me know what your feelings and thoughts are. If these videos are anyhow helpful for you, you know that this music comes closer to you, and just anything what comes to your mind in association with the Opus 87 and with the recording, of course. So thank you so much for joining me, and see you next Thursday. Bye.